Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Two deals have been decided among the Arsenal priorities this summer, and that is, according to Jan Ejfrojo, Arsenal will not be signing Martin Zubimendi because of footballing reasons. Now, we have been told that the player doesn't want to move to Arsenal. He doesn't want to move to England. He wants to stay in Spain. But Arsenal are walking away from that deal because of footballing reasons and because of the profile of the player. That is confirmed. Also, Jorrel Hato is going to stay at Ajax for another year. He's not signing for Arsenal this summer as well. So we're going to be talking about those two deals. Julian Alvarez, what is going on with this guy? Because I've seen he's available. People linking him with Chelsea. People linking him with Arsenal. Should Arsenal go in for Julian Alvarez? Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Now, Martin Odegaard has been voted as Arsenal Player of the Year, Arsenal Player of the Season. In second was Declan Rice, and in third was William Saliba. I totally disagree with that order. I don't know how the vote was done, but we're going to be diving into that. Do you agree that Martin Odegaard was our best player last season? Because I totally 100% disagree with all that. But let's get into it. Let's start off with the big story on the captain Martin Odegaard being noted and voted actually as Player of the Year at Arsenal last season. He was the best player. Second was Declan Rice, and third was William Saliba. In my own order, I would think that a player like Leandro Trossard should be on that list. How is Leandro Trossard not among the players of the year, among the three players of the season at Arsenal last season? How? Honestly, how? He was one of the most clutch players Arsenal had, scored very important goals, one against Wolverhampton Wanderers, one against Everton, one against FC Porto. It is unfair. It is unfair that a guy that had 11 goals, by the way, in that season, didn't start every game, doesn't get to get mentioned. So for me, Leandro Trossard definitely among the players of the season. But I agree with Declan Rice. I think he's had a remarkable season. I wouldn't say he was Arsenal's Player of the Year, and I wouldn't say he was the best player at the club, like many people have told me. So I agree with Declan Rice not winning it. But I think for me, if you're not going to give it to Declan Rice, give it to William Saliba. Because for me, the two players that rightly so deserve to be players of the year at Arsenal are either William Saliba, Leandro Trossard, or Gabriel Magalhaes. I wonder how Gabriel is not among the top three contenders. It is absolutely ridiculous. He's got to be there for me. He's got to be there. Had a fantastic campaign, had a season where we got to see him improving slowly but surely. And for me and Arsenal in that back line, he was one of the most consistent performers in the team. So for me, if I was got to go with player of the year, it's either William Saliba or Gabriel Magalhaes. Now, there is a question on Ben White, whether he makes it to the top three. I don't think he does. But the one player I'll pull out of that top three, definitely, is Martin Odegaard. It's very, very interesting because he had 8 assists and 8 goals, had a very, very good campaign. But that is the reality. If you look at Saka's numbers, absolutely insane. But is Saka one of the players of the year at Arsenal last season? Definitely not. So for me, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, and Declan Rice, and Leandro Trossard. Any of those, if you told me that they are in the top three, I wouldn't have a problem. So I don't have a problem with Saliba. I don't have a problem with Rice. Did Rice outplay Saliba? Yes, he did. Yep, yes, he did. Did Rice outplay Gabriel Magalhaes? No, he did not, in my opinion. I think Gabriel doesn't win it, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves because of the overhype you have on Rice. But I think Gabriel needs to be recognized. For me, I would even vote him Player of the Season because he deserves it. But anyway, I'll leave this one for the comment section. Do you think that Gabriel Magalhaes should have been Player of the Season or Leandro Trossard? And do you agree with Odegaard, Rice, and Saliba as the best players at Arsenal last season? So let's get into it. What two deals have been already decided before Arsenal even get their first signing of the summer? We have two deals that are absolutely decided, and they're not decided in our favor. And the first deal is obviously that deal with Jorrel Hato. So with Jorrel Hato, obviously Arsenal have known that the player signed a new deal in January, but they were still hoping that we could get him as a priority target. The player was speaking himself, and he said, "I want to stay another year. I want to commit another year, at Ajax, and then later." After 1 year at Ajax, we will see what happens. But this year, this coming season, I'm playing at Ajax. I don't think it's a big blow in terms of what Arsenal really, really want. You can wait a single year and then get him. And I think it works for us because he's such a very, very young talent, raw talent, 18 years of age, right? He's exceptional as a player. So if you went to Man United, if you went to Chelsea, if you went to Bayern, if you went to Real Madrid, I would say Arsenal have missed out on a phenomenal talent. But since he's not going to any other club right now, and he's just staying at Ajax, I think if Mikel Arteta really believes in him and he thinks he's the next big thing, in central defense and also left back, then we can wait 1 year. Within that 1 year, you can get rid of Kivio, you can get rid of Alexander Zinchenko, and then have your player. So it's been decided that he stays, and the player himself has confirmed that he's going to be staying at Ajax. Arsenal will not be getting him this summer. The other player that has decided his future, or whose future has been decided, has been Martin Zubimendi. Now, according to Jan H. Frojo, one of the most reliable journalists in Germany, he has also confirmed that Arsenal have killed the deal to sign Martin Zubimendi, but he says it is for footballing reasons. It is not because the player doesn't want to move to England. It's not because he wants to stay in the Basque region or the difficulty of the deal. Actually, Arsenal have walked away because of the profile and what they're actually looking for in the market. Oh, there's another deal we're going to talk about, which is the Amadou Onana deal, by the way. Just I forgot to introduce that, but we're going to talk about Amadou Onana as well. So when it comes to Julian Alvarez, not Julian Alvarez, but Martin Zubimendi, I don't really understand what the footballing reasons are for Martin Zubimendi. I think it's very close to Jorginho. I think he's a player that Mikel Arteta has liked for quite some time. And either Mikel now feels Declan Rice is committed as a number 8 in this squad, and therefore you don't need to sign another kind of hybrid. You just need to go for a concrete number 6. Maybe that. Maybe he wants someone who has got a bigger engine like Yusuf Fofana to cover that middle ground in midfield. We are not sure. But what we know, according to Jan H. Frojo, is that Martin Zubimendi is not going to be joining Arsenal this summer because of footballing reasons. However, we also know that Martin Zubimendi deal was always hard. Arsenal have been willing to trigger the release clause of the player, 60 million euros. That's according to Frojo. And I always feel like this is a deal Arsenal was sure they could do. For me, there are two things here. I won't be surprised if Arsenal now make quick steps for a player like Fofana or a player like Amadou Onana. And this is the reason. When you think about the 60 million euros, you can get Amadou Onana for 50 million euros. You're going to get Yusuf Fofana for 25 million euros. I think Arsenal have assessed the DM market, and they said, why did we go for a 60 million euro guy in Spain? Why did we go for 100 million Guimaraes when we can get Amadou Onana for 50 million euros? When we can get Yusuf Fofana for 25 million euros? I think it's been an assessment of opportunities on the market rather than footballing reasons. Because when I look at footballing reasons, I'm like, this guy is really good. When I compare him to Jorginho, I'm like, he's a good player. There are some aspects of his game where he doesn't excel a lot, but I don't think we have one player that excels at every aspect of his game, maybe apart from Thomas Partey, but even Partey doesn't score as many goals as maybe Lodri, right? So I would say at the moment, Zubimendi not signing for Arsenal, that is confirmed, but I'm not really sure why. It's either Arsenal found the market a little bit more lucrative and they found lucrative deals, or it is true. Arsenal found a problem with his profile, and therefore they've decided to walk away. So this is a deal that has been confirmed that Arsenal are walking away from Zubimendi. It's not Zubimendi walking away or rejecting Arsenal, right? I mean, he had already rejected us like a couple of years ago, we could say. Arsenal reject Zubimendi as Zubimendi rejects Arsenal as well. Now, I wanted to speak to the Amadou Onana transfer confusion. I think you have seen it online. I don't want to commit to this because I don't have any credible source, speaking into it. But let's start off with a report that came out from John Cross from the Mirror, saying that Amadou Onana's profile is not appreciated by Arsenal this summer, and therefore it's a deal that is not happening. So that would make it 3 deals already confirmed. But this is the reason why I think this deal, or John Cross doesn't have enough information. Straight after that, we have had so many reports claiming Arsenal are still in contact with Everton, and Arsenal have been in contact with Everton. And also Fabrizio Romano said that Arsenal talked to Everton to ask about and inquire about the availability of the player, right? He was talking on the Here We Go podcast. So when we compare the stories, John Cross is a very good guy. He's got, close links to Arsenal, inside Arsenal, as compared to Romano. Therefore, his story holds water. Fabrizio Romano is the most reliable journalist when it comes to transfers on earth. Therefore, his story holds water. So I'm going to keep it open. Amadou Onana not happening, I don't see that. I don't see it as a 0% chance, right? If Arsenal are looking for a versatile kind of profile on the market, Amadou Onana is definitely one of them. Can play in the 8, can play in the 6. If you give him the right education, he's physical, and his ball progression is absolutely fantastic. So I don't think we've walked away 100%. But, right, it could also be, like I said, that Arsenal found a lucrative deal. Arsenal found, a player with whatever they need for good money, and therefore the journalists close to the club know that the other deals are basically dead. So those are the 3 deals I wanted us to speak about when it comes to the ones that we know, are really literally confirmed. The first 2, which is Jorrel Hato staying at Ajax, that is confirmed. The second one, which is Martin Zubimendi not joining Arsenal, is also confirmed from Jan Edfrojo. Basically, you're not going to see those ones happening. Now, Julian Alvarez. This one is an interesting one, right? So for Germany, once again, Kai Havertz has been confirmed as a center forward. So Kai Havertz's future is at center forward from now to the future. He's playing at center forward at Arsenal. He's playing at center forward at Germany. And mind you, by the way, Germany have a real center forward in Nicolas Füllkrug. Don't like him. I'm a Borussia Dortmund fan. Don't like him. But the guy did wonders for us in the Champions League, and I appreciate him. And I'm like, yeah, give him more games give him more games up top. He's done a wonderful job. So the fact that they have Füllkrug, who has been on fire with Borussia Dortmund, making it to the Champions League final, that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you that Kai Havertz has nailed his position as centre forward for both club and country. And that is where the Julian Alvarez story comes in. Julian Alvarez wants more game time. He's going to be leaving Man City. They want him to stay, but it is more likely that he leaves City rather than staying. So will Arsenal, or should Arsenal, pick up interest in Julian Alvarez? For me, this is what I'm going to say. First and foremost, I want to clarify. Arsenal right now have not been reported anywhere close to Julian Alvarez. It's the fans on social media, it's the fans on Twitter saying, give us Julian Alvarez. Arsenal should be all over this. Arsenal should hijack his deal to Chelsea. My answer to that is no. Don't hijack Julian Alvarez's chance to join Chelsea or transfer to join Chelsea. And these are my reasons. Number one, I think he's clinical. I think he's good. But he is running away from Erling Haaland. How many strikers will we sign from Man City as they try to run away from Erling Haaland? And you've got to ask the question, why do they run away from Erling Haaland? What they're running away from is a consistent goal machine that is absolutely ruthless, and he's not going to allow you to get any game time. Because with Erling Haaland, you're talking about 25 goals plus every single damn campaign. So if you cannot compete with him, then what you cannot compete with is what Arsenal need. So that's why I've said Gyökeres. That's why I've said Osimhen, because those are the two that can compete with Erling Haaland. We don't need a striker that cannot compete with Haaland. We don't need a striker that is running away from Haaland. We already have that. We already have one. If we are talking about stocking players that cannot compete with Haaland, we have Nketiah, we have Gabriel Jesus. Thank you. That's enough. Now I like Alvarez, and when I look at him, he reminds me of Kun Aguero, and he's more like a Gonzalo Higuain kind of shining kind of player, the Lautaro Martinez type. Not very physical, but he knows when to run and he knows when to finish. He might be a 25-goal striker, don't get me wrong, but at the moment, he is not proven yet. He is not done it yet, right? He's not done it yet. I will do a full video why Arsenal should not sign this guy, and it will be dropping very soon. Not today, but very, very soon. Today, we dive into all the confirmed transfers. That video should be coming out very quickly and very, very soon today. And of course, if I get time, we will do everything you need to know about one transfer signing. So keep your eyes very, very widely open. I'll see you very, very soon.